The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tournée. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to Innocentic, a very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and the book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocent. Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an...
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden in... The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and it's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges to the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the Huron. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Revachol Industrial Hub. This large map displays archipelagos. You see Ozon, Laurentide, Fas a la Mer disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou. In a bookstore, it's you. You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star. On Ozon, Fondelier, 850 million people live on these little dots. An oceanic world of culture and commerce. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness, connections to other worlds, words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90... That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to... From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap.
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Slowly, you move your hand toward the map attached.
Perhaps not. It's against RCM policy to defraud small business owners.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of... Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone. These 3 things, the point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicine. It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't, wholeness, unity, balance, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill. The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an... There's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this? You sense something ominous emanating from the shelf, but it lacks form and substance, and soon enough, you lose track of it.
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for... I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh, no. Welcome to Crime, Romance and Biography. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at home? Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. As a young girl should be, with the proper attitude, she'll have a bright financial future. God, I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety, she can if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breath.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
She stands stiff and severe. She's looking for one, but there's simply...
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress. Yes. My husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. He made the initial investment. Since then...
Super silent, almost inaudibly so.
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she... Exactly. She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at... I assure you, I, of all people, understand the importance of education.
And hell freezes over? Never mind. It's not a good topic to get into. The woman looks aloof.
Goodness, you were already doing good. Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't they?
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled?
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put... Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme. The seminar, aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fishhead charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you. Just as you're about to pull apart...
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I am sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers. You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through.
Talking is always good. There is something mysterious about the curtains. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to... I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. Just let it go, officer.
She recites it like it's a poem, or like she's playing a role she's grown tired of.
It's just for decoration. Okay, fine. It's just because this place... Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything? The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin.
Didn't that curtain just move?
But officer, there's nothing natural about entire companies declaring bankruptcy. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering... The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin.
Didn't that curtain just move?
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something... There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering presence. As if I were... Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists. And even the wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness. It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail.
Wow. Void raves. You have new words.
Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell.
Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe...
Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts.
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits.
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally, slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before. You're no para-detective. You look nothing like one. And you're clearly a drinker.
You look like one. The lieutenant keeps his usual. Go ahead then. Rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes.
How do you...
Here we go.
You're Partsimonese. Oh, it means our meeting couldn't have been mere charm. But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit. If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it? Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney? Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious.
Unbelievable darkness and ruin. What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared. You see a set of tattered curtains. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway
Oh!
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens. If after exerting some force, you manage to turn the key, it's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air. A barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. There are no collars on the barbell. This is why does it feel so familiar?
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber. The squeaky sound of... It's just a memory from another life. When you were young.
What is this place? I think you're right. Though it looks like no one's been here in it. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Sounds good.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit. That's a good question. Reality is This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5.
We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment, it's empty like a beehive without the filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
They are merely cautious. It's my job to protect their filaments as a part. I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian repeat. As for me, well, I am sitting in my... Now please tell me the reason for your call, Fortress accident. The filament you have inserted into the reader. That was a question. Have you inserted it into the core? If you are unsure, could you please take a look? Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it. Good.
Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Received. I will register.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do? Fortress accident is the... One moment. Fortress accident SCA produces revolution.
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Nothing happens. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard. Some of the writing has faded. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different, translucent Welkins. Who are all those creatures? You should adopt one of those Welkins as your... One of the Welkins, towering among its Vara Hamira, a high Welkin. His face the Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even head.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little walking creatures. Some people really like building a world. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Political commentary. That one, just look at those details.
The photo collage depicts barren ice. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own. A pinned postcard reads, "This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic word mini-me stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer."
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard said the handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out three. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue, and the whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic. History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart. They must have had massive air width. These things don't come cheap. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in, there's no way a little basement.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. And the whole thing resembles cage radio. Unclear. It looks like a car. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back. They must have had massive. Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads. Whoever there's.
My God. It's exactly. This schedule. I know doom when I see.
Nothing.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? No, that's not it. I think...
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only...
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good.
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule. Not to my knowledge. They may go to...
Not in Revachol.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole...
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... Yes, especially in here. Okay, let's keep moving.